crazy. In Europe, people are increasingly being paid to use electricity. No joke. You can get paid when your washing machine is running or your car is charging. That is due to negative electricity prices.
We came back home and turned on everything, all the batteries charging, cars charging, just because you were actually earning money by doing it.
Negative prices occur when there is too much energy in the power grid.
We are standing at a historical shift. Households might take a part of all the value creation in the energy market.
While it's good news for consumers, it's a problem for the grid. And it has something to do with renewable energy. Cheap EV charging puts a smile on EV drivers' faces. And those smiles are even bigger when they get paid for their electricity use.
Yeah, it feels kind of interesting that you're getting the electricity, you're charging your car and driving it, and not only you're not paying, but you're getting paid back.
Timo uses an app to check when electricity is cheap and charges his car at the lowest market prices, which can turn negative, meaning you get paid for your consumption. It is not uncommon in Europe. Last year, in Sweden, just over 20% of all hours were negatively priced. In Denmark, the figure was 8%, and in Germany, it was nearly 7%. This trend is primarily linked to the boom in solar energy. It has expanded significantly in Germany. When the sun is shining and demand for power is low, say on weekends, when factories are closed, supply can far exceed demand. The price on the energy exchange tumbles. This is especially true for solar energy. Whenever it feeds a large amount of electricity into the grid, it does so around noon. This applies to all solar power systems everywhere in the grid. And that's when these feed-in peaks, as we call them, occur. In such cases, it's quite common for there to be too much electricity in the grid, or at least so much electricity that it essentially has no value anymore. Dirk Biermann is the managing director of one of Germany's leading power grid operators. Excess electricity doesn't only lead to negative pricing. The spikes in feed-ins also pose a challenge to grid stability. That's because supply and demand need precise balancing. As a rule, the amount of electricity fed into the grid must always match the amount used. We always need to maintain this balance. If it's disrupted, grid operators need to intervene. But that doesn't always work. Last year, Spain and Portugal had a massive power outage. While renewable energy wasn't the cause, the incident showed how quickly power grids can go out of sync. So what can be done to better balance electricity generation and consumption? Right now, it doesn't matter when households use energy. The cost remains the same. But the reality is that prices on the electricity exchange vary greatly. The idea behind the startup firm Tibba is to connect households to market prices. That requires digital electricity meters.
A smart meter is a meter that is measuring the consumption in your house every 15 minutes. The energy invoice you're getting is based on your consumption and not the consumption of your neighbor, so to say. It basically makes sure that you're billed accurately, automatically, and based on the profile you have in your home.
Flexible pricing is particularly beneficial for households that use a lot of energy, say for charging EVs, batteries, or heat pumps. Tibba believes that flexible pricing is the future, and not just in Europe.
We see that several states in the US are now starting to implement this. Texas and New York are ahead in the curve when it comes to the US. When it comes to Asia, we see that Singapore and Japan are implementing models like this. Australia is very progressive in this arena. So there's a lot of dynamics now happening because renewable, you need a more flexible system, you need more flexible consumption.
And there are more and more of them. Last year, renewables accounted for just under half of electricity generation in Europe. In Germany, they produce nearly 60% of electricity. And renewables are growing. Energy expert Katrin Goldammer believes they are the best energy source for Germany.
Renewable energy is the source of electricity that can provide us with a carbon-friendly energy, which also gives us independence from fossil fuel imports from abroad. And for a country like Germany, which is very scarce in natural energy resources except from wind and solar, it's an excellent idea to increase the share of renewables.
So here are the takeaways. Europe is committed to renewable energy. Sudden spikes in feed-ins could overwhelm the power grid. Volatility on the energy exchange is high. Consumers can take advantage of price fluctuations and help stabilize power grids with the help of technology. Power grids also need to be upgraded to better integrate renewable energy sources in the long term.
And we've been investing lots of money into different generation units, mainly renewable energy, but we haven't invested so much in the grid. And this is why basically they haven't been running in parallel when it comes to their development. And it's definitely something we need to change.
Decentralized and flexible, both for generation and consumption. That's the way forward. Timo has already adapted to this new reality. His car charges automatically when the grid has more energy. That saves him about 20 euros a month, and sometimes he even gets paid to use electricity.